Label mentoring and why I created Black Label Mentoring. I created Black Label Mentoring based on a need that I found for myself. So Black Label is a very selfish creation of mine, but it is one of, or possibly the best creation that I can give people. Some of my clients have been kind enough to say that, and I appreciate that. Black Label comes from a point when you have superior intelligence, you have high IQ, and you are looking for navigation to that whatever next level. It is a sunny, beautiful, lovely day today. I have been enjoying the sun. And one of the things about Black Label that I personally found is I wanted answers in this world. I didn't want to go to places, I didn't want to be a dog chasing its own tail for answers on a consistent level. The place I wanted to get to in life, it required a lot of me, given my life circumstances, my background, given how much I was put through. And one of my chief perspectives I'd like to share in this video is one of the things I asked the spirits that I worked with a long time ago. Why was I put through all this? I want meaning to it. I don't want to wallow in victimhood. I don't want to be upset. And they just said, well, you weren't put through all of this to make you go through pain. It was your initiation to activate your power. And I thought that's very interesting. And that line shifted a lot for me. For me, Black Label is a creation that it's a blessed creation. I only give it to the best of the best, basically. I used to do it for 1 year. I'll do it for 6 months now. Of course, it's half the price if it's 6 months. And if it's 6 months, you don't get the initiation into the Cliffa. So you probably need the 1 year if you're looking for Black Label mentoring. The 6 months is 50,000 and the 1 year is 100,000. It's gifted. The part of the reason that I charge what I do for Black Label is because it's very difficult to challenge. Part of the challenge of Black Label mentoring in Spartanite is that it's very difficult to challenge, because what I'm channeling from Clonic, Belial, Nibirius, Sarath, Azazel, Paimon, angelic spirits, I even use Uriel, Archangel Michael. What I'm channeling is divine truth. And they're giving you the answers. Just today, there is an account, I don't really follow it, but sometimes I watch what the guy posts. And he posted something that blew my mind. Not because it's anything new I read, because it's the exact same thing that King Belial once said to me about influence, command, and power. And the words he had written was exactly what Belial said to me 2 years ago. Wow. And I kept quiet and I thought, God, I'm really on the right track. And I felt proud. Why did I create Black Label? Because I created it for a need of people who have high IQ, high intelligence, and you're bored by pedestrian society. You're bored. You've done a lot of things. You speak different languages. You've traveled to different places. Your mind is very fast. You're strategic. People maybe have called you cunning, may have called you ruthless, and there is a high element of Machiavellian traits in Black Label, and that's something I don't particularly teach as much as we just unlock. It's almost like the mind is at a prodigy level and will just expand the brain wave, or we will expand your depth of consciousness so that you're not looking to know things, you're just looking to embody that knowing. Part of the reason worldly intelligence is nice, but it bored me personally, is because it's limited. Things like academia. The best way to try and describe it for Black Label is academia. So I did not complete university. For most people who ask this question, I did 2 years in 2 different universities and I was done. I dropped out. I couldn't be bothered because what higher learning and institutions predominantly, they are not teaching you at a state level. By the way, I'm just going to try and put a little bit of a disclaimer here. At a state level, what they're doing is they're teaching you what to think and not how to think. If you really want the how, you're going to have to go to Ivy League, so on and so forth, where they're educating you properly based on obviously the money you're paying. Another thing is people lack critical thinking skills anymore. They're just happy to have their brain as mush. People who come for Black Label, the brain is not mush. You're gonna read books and you're gonna socialize and you're gonna educate yourself. You're gonna be an autodidact until your mind falls out. Part of the thing of Black Label is that it's very powerful. It completely revamps how you see the world, how you see yourself, your self-concept, the concept of society, the concept of other people. It's very, very powerful. And based on the Black Label series, I have the Black Label Man, which is basically a very strong working for men who are Mr. Black Label. They have never fit into society. They are unique. They are high IQ. They are smart. People have called you retarded. People call you stupid. People call you weird. You know, because I went through all of that, and people just look at you and be like, there's something wrong with you. It's because your mind is so far advanced, you don't care about pedestrian things. Traditionally, Black Label for me was a place to create for a lot of men that really wanted that next level in within themselves. Now, with this said, a lot of ladies have come to ask me, do you do Black Label for women? Yes, I can. I can engineer it. I can add feminine touches to it. Things like the fluffy hat fox is based on Black Label. It's the counterpart to Mr. Black Label. Black Label extra mental, Black Label security. All of those are very high-paid rituals that I perform, either for men who want to get to a certain stage, high net worth, ultra high net worth. It doesn't make a difference, because when you have specific energy that you are linking into a certain gateway, essentially what you're doing is you're opening the planar gateway. When I mentor in Black Label, I'm opening that planar gateway for a man. That planar gateway is very difficult to open. Number one, if you do not have experience, it's like going into a jungle, or it's like trying to drive a car. You've got no experience, you crash it. So I'm obviously taking all of that for you, and I take command of that realm and I push that forward for you. Number two, with Black Label, it gives a person a sense of belonging. So initially, Black Label was unisex, and I can still say it's unisex. Predominantly, I will put that pressure, that masculine pressure, and even women will feel that when they come to me, but I'll add a feminine twist if it's a woman who wants Black Label. It's a sense of belonging. When you do not operate at a pedestrian level, when you do not operate at a normal level, you feel isolated, you feel lonely. I felt like that. That's why I say it's a very selfish creation of mine, but it's one of my best, if not one of my best creations. Why? Because I used to sit between scores and hordes of people and feel lonely. And the loneliness was not because these people are bad. It's not because they don't like me. I really enjoyed my time with them. I couldn't meet there was no depth. With Black Label, it's not an intellectual endeavor as much as it's a depth-based endeavor. So all my people who have Scorpio, Plutonian energy will love Black Label, because Black Label really goes deep, 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 deep. It's the part of you where people have shunned, misjudged. Every time I do a video, there's always a plane, of course. It's that part of you that's been shunned, ridiculed, humiliated, thrown out into just cast out. People who have traditionally have many challenges with power and control, such as myself. Men have always wanted a lot of power and control over me, and I refuse to give it to them. And then, you know, a man can either back away, he becomes violent, he doesn't know what to do. So I wanted to create Black Label in a place whereby a person truly explores who they are. All those deep, primal, chaotic threads of madness all slowly unravel. I don't go quickly, because a person can truly lose their mind. When you swing those cliff currents in Black Label, you can lose it. I tell people this all the time. It's like a battery charger. Imagine plugging this phone into the battery charger and you just leave it at 100%, and it's just, the battery's gonna die eventually. Sometimes they just blow up. That's what happens to the mainframe of the mind. If you overdo the type of magic and the type of things I provide in Black Label, you'll go left. But it's for people who truly have that strength and that power within themselves. They have those Plutonian aspects. They have those Scorpio placements. I have 3 Scorpio placements in my 7th house. It's a bomb of Scorpio energy. When people usually see me in black, usually see me in red. I mean, come on. So for me, Black Label was something that I created different, levels of it. There are Black Label shots in the men's shot section, where there's Black Label extra mental, Black Label man. And for women, of course, if they still want to maintain in the feminine, fluffy hat, fox, those type of things, they're all derived from Black Label. And for me, Black Label was not something where I tied it with a pretty bow and that was it. People will go to Black Label and they'll know if it's for them or not. If they think, oof, it's already not for you. Black Label is not so much about financial alignment for me as much as to see if it's a fit for the person who wants that extra mental power, who says, I'm ready to step into the bestest version of myself. I'm frightened. I'm very, very, very scared. Because it means leaving behind everything that I have ever known. It means leaving behind so many people who will then hate you, who the only thing they will come and tell you is, oh, he or she thinks they're better than us. Now this person is this, now they, and then it's a reflection. Black Label is for people who have those type of very similar energies to me, those 1-1 swing energies, like you'll you go straight up, down, and you're used to achieving success at a very, very high and powerful level. Black Label just cuts through the noise. It's not like regular mentoring. It's not your coaching. Black Label, I will put the heat on you. I will ask you questions nobody has asked you. And then it's just like, how? So people take their time. For Black Label, for me, when people know, they can come like after 2 years, 3 years or something. They've read it, they've really sat with it. And they've asked, because even the preliminary application questions, they're not easy to answer because they require disclosure, they require vulnerability, they require something that most of us are told to keep to ourselves. Black Label is for the creme de la creme. It's for people who have superior high IQ intelligence and they know it. Black Label is not for average people. Black Label is not for pedestrian people. Black Label is not for people who want to earn X amount and call it a day in life. Black Label is for people who want to get to that top. They want to get to the apex of whatever they want to get to. They want to dominate whatever's around them, not in a controlling sense. By the way, I just want to make this clear that the domination is domination of one's own self. It's about exploring the inner jewels in the soul and the outer realm as well. Because you have a consciousness, basically. I'll try and explain what it is I'm saying. So think of going the left-hand path and think of religion. What it is with religion is this one rule for everybody. You have to follow it whether it fits you or not. See, with the left hand, it's a little bit different because it's like, well, if this rule does not fit me individual, your individuality very much is celebrated in Black Label. I will never try and be like, well, you need to be this way, you need to be this way. You come as you are. And then what we do is we do not build into the light. Belial has always told me this. There are ratios of people. People have ratios of light and darkness. It's the yin and the yang, the little circle, if you can think of that in your head. People traditionally build upwards into the light. They build very, very high. That's the only way they've been taught. But in Black Label mentoring, when I work with myself, predominantly with Belial, we go downwards into the elevator. We go down to clear all the falsehoods, the myths, the disbeliefs, everything you have that's stopping you from meeting your real self in the mirror. All the bullshit. Because what Black Label and everything in Spartanite for me is like an amalgamation of that. It clears. You get people out of their own way. There's nobody stopping you. It's just you stopping yourself. And for Black Label, the most powerful thing that I gave was giving people that strength of real primal command. Somebody can have money, but they lack power. In Black Label, you have the primal exploration of power, those powerful primal threads of madness, that chaos. People fear chaos because they fear themselves. They don't know how to really navigate it. With me, I embrace it. I want you to be mad. I want you to be crazy. I want you to embrace your madness, walk with your madness. And Black Label will definitely show you the way on how to do that.